Hong Sin again. Welcome back.
Welcome.
We've just been talking about what our bets were on who advances. Maybe we can do that for chat again. While the players are still warming up. I guess I'll just go first, right?
Yeah.
I'll say Mada wins the whole thing. Given by his current performance, because he's just like, he's really fucking good and really experienced. Like he won't easily get nervous or make huge mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And by the looks, he's really trained as well. And then we have Kirill, Chroma, Orcs, Link. Actually, where do I put Max? I mean, Max definitely advances too.
True. Very strong contenders there. I mean, I think I'd mostly just be repeating what you said.
And actually, an Acid and Vera as a backup, because Vera might pull a surprise.
Right. I mean, we could see, you know, depending on consistency of players, we've seen a lot so far, so we can sort of gauge roughly where the players are in terms of consistency and skill. So we're just going to have to see how they pull it out in rounds, and I believe we're on the very first round here of the semifinals. Here we go.
Yep, here we go indeed.
Making sure we have the scene switch. In the top of the pack here we have Kirill, followed closely by CD and Mutta. Going over the transitions here. Making sure to grab the speed slides. Oh, a mistake there. I believe that was Kirill.
I actually missed it.
Crashed out.
Have a look. Yeah, Kirill
Max.
actually DNF'd. He didn't just crash out. That's going to lose him a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just know that you're just messed up for that rest of the round, but Max leading does keep the lead over Mutta before the final there, and gets a very nice 57.2 to start off the match here.
CD also popping into the top 5, and so is Vera with a 0.6 and a 0.8, securing some important points. And Kirill's crash might actually be very much meaningful. I think he's good enough and fast enough on all the maps to recover. But since we're still in the like 1 points partition system, where you only gain 1 point by each position you gain, a DNF is a huge problem. Like, basically Kirill just lost out on a possible 16 points. And 16 points he cannot recover by getting more first places. So he will now have to push a little harder to recover that.
CD with the mistake there. Oh, this
so we
is
were live
warm-up.
after all. Okay, I was really confused when you said live, because it did say it in chat, because I think they skipped to the
Okay.
they skipped to the format, like to the script. But I was like, what? We don't have 1650 yet even, and we haven't seen like the warm up.
Just keeping the chatters on their toes, you know.
Yeah,
you get some games here.
You get some bonus casting here. That's bonus material.
Right. All right, so here's the real warm up. All the players are making sure that they have everything down pat. Their line is secured. Maybe looking as to where they can possibly risk to gain these positions and make sure that they get the most points possible. You only get 12 chances to gain points here, so very important each round. Oh, luckily it's warm up, so those little crashes not too big of a deal as long as you can mentally reset. It's all right. Brahma though, very nice lead here in the warm up. Very important to get that transition out of the cakewall and immediately start your left SD up that hill. Otherwise, you're going to lose a ton of time on these other players. Various crashing going on. Looks like the nerves are there. The top 16 starting to set in.
And now we
Here
are
we go.
actually live.
Yeah.
We see a variety of linemen in the starts, with Vera, I think, going the widest. And as a result, trailing the pack, but Max must have clipped something. He lost a lot of speed there, and he will be overtaken by Vera, who actually maintains a good speed and will catch up to a couple other people. Meanwhile, Chroma off to the best start, as we're kind of used to by now. Except on the Firefox map, I guess. Question is, will he be able to keep his place this time? I think we saw a clip. I'm not sure who it was. We will see in a bit. I guess it was actually Mada. Oh, Mada with another mistake. He might not even be able to finish with that. He can respawn, but it's a bit of an awkward respawn. Now he should be able to finish, right? Oh, it's going to be really difficult. Anyways, at the front, Chroma keeping his lead, though he is chased by Link, who has actually overtaken him now. Kirill also still within reach, might be able to catch someone if someone crashes the finish. Almost crashes the finish himself, actually. Let's take another look at Mada. Maybe he is actually able to finish, but he will most likely, he will run out of time. Mada also losing out on important points. Actually, I think his first major crash of the tournament.
Yeah, I think so too. Link, really good ending there, overtaking Chroma. That was a great performance in that round. And here we go for the second round of Chill Day. Gonna see Chroma yet again near the front of the pack. Kirill actually leading. Once these transitions go through, the obstacles, you're gonna start seeing these big SDs start to play a part in the speed that these players can gain. Mada slowly catching up to the front two here. Although somewhere Kirill, I think, made a small mistake. He's not in the front of the pack anymore. It seems to be Link and Chroma yet again fighting for this first place position with Mada in third. Mada probably playing a tiny bit safer, a little bit more focused, not going to make the same mistake again. So these top three of the pack are moving. Here we go. Chroma now re-overtaking Link. Link doesn't get the best exit out of that TO, and now Mada actually gets a fantastic exit, but he will not clear the gap between Chroma. Chroma does take first place this round, and Link in third. Good round there.
Yep, Chroma finally getting one of the first places he missed in the previous rounds of the tournament. Finally able to keep his early lead and bring it home. Mada also recovering nicely.
In fifth, actually, doing very well. He was in that 16th slot, and now he's really putting the pressure on himself, making sure he gets all these points, and so far, so good.
Yep, pulling off a really good first map. I'm actually quite wondering if he's going to struggle on map 2 then, because I think he also did reasonably well on this last time. But we will find out. As of now, Chroma in the lead yet again. It's kind of what we're used to. Chased by Kirill and Mada. Mada actually missing out on SD there will not make a huge difference, but he still, somehow he missed half the SD and he still kept as much speed as everyone else. Wille actually not off to the best round this time, dropping to the back. While Mada not with the ideal speed, still good enough speed to be in second, having to overslide a little bit here, but Chroma will win another round. Chroma popping off now, actually driving fastest time of the match so far.
Yeah, wow. Nice time. Very nice time. And Moose just barely misses the risky fin. Has to go for a respawn in there. I think he lost a position or two. Here we go. Fourth round of Chill Day for the semifinals here. Will we see Chroma take another first place here? Will Link catch up? Will Mada find his footing on this map and gain that first place? We will see. Here's the transition. The little bit of a ramp cut just to gain extra speed. Landing earlier. Seems like the pack is starting to move on. Moose a little bit slower here. We're going to move up to Link. See how the front of the pack is doing. Still in the lead here. Actually going to take a look at Mada, who's now in third, chasing Kirill and Link. Tubes into the cakewall. Now the big SD uphill. This is very important. Mada getting a great speed here out of it, but so does Link and Kirill. Kirill actually ahead of Link now. How does this last TO fare? Did they get the good speed? Mada has unbelievable speed out of it, and he's actually going to be barely overtaking. Will he get the first place? Yes, he does, dude.
Mada with yet another snipe.
He's unbelievable at the end of these maps. He just has the perfect line and gets all the speed, and Kirill, although he does get a pretty darn good ending too, cannot keep the lead. What an amazing comeback there.
Mada's just unmatched when it comes to gaining and maintaining speed in features. Like no one else does it as well as him. Like he usually,
what an exciting round.
He usually doesn't get off to the best starts, but he maintains so much speed through every feature, every wall, every SD. It's actually sick. Yeah, actually a pro player, as Sam points out. The only one person here that actually makes a living of Trackmania. And we move on to map 2 out of 3, which is Rack by Firefox. So we see Raven.
Let's take a look at the point distribution here. So we're looking at who is going to make the top 8 right now. Willa in a very similar position to the quarterfinals, sitting on the last spot of the potential knockout. And wait, is this the second map? Just so we don't get confused.
Yes,
correct?
Definitely the second map this
time. Okay. Yeah, it says 2 out of 3. Okay, I can read. I swear to God, I can read. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, I was one not reading last time.
So yeah, I mean we have Link, Kirill, Chroma, Mutta, Max, Acid, Ox, and Willa safe right now. Although they do need to keep this lead in the next 2 maps to actually stay there. You have Edvin right next to the 8th position, Kasparix, which is Vera, and then Tundle and CD. So these players are not too far behind. They could realistically go for this slot here, and everyone is still in it pretty much. Just have to keep it up. And here we go, first round.
Yeah, but we're just on the second map, so even the last 4 in Aito, Mayonnaise, Moose, and Raven can still make a difference here by maybe popping off on this map. Talking about Raven, we're currently actually watching him. He's unfortunately not off to the best start, also oversliding a lot here. That entire SD was too wide, so he's most likely not going to gain speed. He would be overtaken by Edvin and Aito as a result. Meanwhile, Mada is off to a huge start, just driving away really, leaving Kirill and Max in the dust. Kirill actually able to maintain similar speed to Mada, but he will likely not be able to catch up the distance he already lost earlier on in the map. And Mada is looking to cruise home to another first place finish.
Wow, Max gets a beautiful finish there too.
Yep, Mada coming a bit closer to the currently leading Evo pack. Also popping a really fucking good time. Best one we've seen
really
yet.
Good.
I think that's online WR actually.
Yeah,
he just drove online WR.
There it is.
I think Kirill told me he has a 0.6 offline, so it's definitely not WR. But it's the 6 rounds time.
Right.
He's just getting better every round.
We have Max leading the pack from the start of this map, going for these zigzag SDs up this small little hill transition here. Coming out of the wall. Need to get a really good SD here. There's a lot of room, so players will be maximizing this. Now this left turn down the hill looks super smooth, super clean, and you can get an insane amount of speed from that. So players are doing it very well here up the hill now. Making as many zigzag SDs as possible. Taking the obstacles as clean as they can. Max going for a low line on that Jefferson. And here we go. The uphill SDs around this corner here are always where players gain a ton of time. Max didn't get the best that time, but Chroma and Link take first, second, and then Chroma takes third.
We basically have an Evo ace here, with the 3 main team contenders taking the top 3 spots. With Mada not off to the best run this time, only a 0.3, almost over half a second faster than his last time, but still taking home important points. At the bottom we still have Raven, Moose and Aito. That hasn't changed much. Moose has had a couple good starts here. Maybe he can actually finalize one of them this round. As we see, I think it was Acid making a bit of a mistake, losing grip and going to the right. Ooh, that was a huge mistake. Who was that actually? Oh, it was Mada. It was Mada with a full crash.
It was.
Wow. I think that's going to be a DNF, right? He will not be able to make that jump. Yeah, Mada is going to DNF.
We actually have Moose fighting Kirill for the front.
Really important, actually. That will enable a couple other people to catch back up. But Moose is indeed off to a better round, as I teased earlier on. Acid also recovered very nice from his start error, and is now in 4th position. Gets a better end than Vera, might actually be able to snipe. No, not quite, and we have Kirill winning back-to-back rounds ahead of Moose, who takes a very important 15 points for him, keeping his hopes of advancing alive. Vera and Acid.
Vera doing a good job to pull away, still holding that 8th place spot, but here we go, final round of Rock. Here we go, Max, very nice start here, the precision into the SD up the hill, the big left SD into the transition, little jump there. Oh, it doesn't get the zigzag though, so he's going to be missing a bit of the speed here. Now the rest of the pack is pulling away. You can see just how important that is. And it looks like Mutta and Chroma are in the front. Here we go into the big left SD. Probably my favorite section of the map. It's just so smooth and nice. And the speed that these players are getting out of it is absurd. So here we go. They're using that speed now to get even more out of this uphill transition. Down the tube into the Jefferson, I believe it's called. Very interesting obstacle. And now, here we go. The zigzag up the hill again. Here we go. It is
beautiful
Krill.
end by Max.
Yeah, and Max gains positions there. Chroma and Mutta, the usual suspects here. It's such a stacked field. You can see the consistency is really, really good from these players. And
yep, especially Kirill with a really good performance in this one. Winning 3 rounds back to back to back after Mutta popped the WR and then kind of disappeared back into the 4th, 5th places. And even DNF'd once, which is why he's currently not at the very front, but still well ahead of the important 8th and 9th place. Where we currently... Yep.
Alright, going into the last map, Syrup, we have 1 minute warm-up here. Currently the positions are Kirill in the front, Chroma in 2nd, Link in 3rd, Max in 4th, Mutta in 5th, Acid in 6th, Ox in 7th, and Vera in 8th. Fighting for that very important 8th place will be CD, Wille, Edvin, and Mayo. Possibly more, but at this point in the 3rd map, it really comes down to just a few points, so you need to play your best, almost full risk. Obviously, you don't want to risk not finishing the map, but at this point, players that are behind 8th place really need to push their lines and make sure that they're giving their 110% every round. They only have 4 rounds to make it up. Any predictions, Dan, for who gets that 8th spot?
Oh, very difficult. It
is.
I mean, Vera has been
does have
doing reasonably well, and he does have a good time on this map as well.
That's true.
Plus a 12-point lead, so I'm assuming it's gonna stay as it is right now, with Ox and Vera moving on. But all it takes is 1 DNF, really. So CD, Wille, and Edvin can very much still make it. I think everyone else is too far behind now. Unless there is major upsets.
This first round, very important.
Yep. Oh, that's Wille actually making a mistake, and not only Wille. Meanwhile, Vera is off to a decent start, looking to defend mention 8th position. Going a bit wide here, but still maintaining reasonable speed. Meanwhile, Chroma off to a good lead, chased by Ox and Mutta yet again. It's another page in the saga. Will Chroma keep this lead? Ooh, talking about DNFs earlier, that's Vera making a crucial mistake. Opening up for CD to maybe catch up in points, and CD getting a 5th place. Closing in on Vera.
Yeah.
Already putting Vera under pressure.
Yeah, so much pressure. I can just imagine when I'm playing, it's so much mental fatigue just trying to keep that focus the whole time. You know, you're focusing for, minutes and minutes on end each round. Yeah. So understandable to make a mistake, but you can't let it happen twice.
Yeah, especially if you're in Vera's position, like, the only way I'm losing this is if I DNF, and then this happens. That can really
He's gonna not think about it.
But it looks like Vera knocked it off really quick, because he's off to the best start of everyone here. Not with the best speed. Also not the best wall entry, but should still be fine. Ooh,
I think he got a little bit of airtime on that transition, and that will dumpster his speed, sadly. But he can still get some points here, so he can't give up yet.
But he is being overtaken by CD again, and CD is only 4 points off now.
Right. In the front, we actually have Kirill fighting Moose. Moose looking really good on this map. He definitely has a knack for Syrup. And Ox actually overtaking. Moose must have gotten a bad landing. He didn't seem to get that landing correctly, and he did lose speed. And we do see Kirill, of course, take position 1, but Ox takes 2 and Max takes 3rd. So Moose looking really good actually as well, getting that 4th place.
Kirill also popping in the best time so far on this map today.
Yeah. Very nice time.
Showing us what is all the fruits of his offline training, really. Actually, how did it change? And CD is, with Vera's crash now, actually ahead. Already 5 points ahead of Vera, and Vera really needs to pick up the pace now. And clean up the mistakes he's been making so far. He's off to a decent start, but so is CD. They're actually neck and neck right now. Battling it out for that important last spot.
Flips.
Oh, yeah, just as I say, they're battling it out neck and neck. CD makes the next crucial mistake in this duel. And now that's...
It's not Caster's curse, we swear.
And that's gonna be Vera retaking 8th position, most likely.
The front of the pack is looking pretty standard here. We have Kirill, Mutta, Ox, Acid, Max, and then Vera just behind by a few tenths of a second here. He will flow through here. Mutta getting his first place here. Has missed a few the past few rounds, but he does reclaim it. And Ox, being very consistent on this map, has second place right over Chroma and Kirill. So Ox doing really good this map, actually.
Yeah, Ox actually
Although
dropping
I'm not
off
sure
Acid in the overall standings.
Yeah, pretty secure in his standing here.
Yeah, he is. But
Really
it's like a
comes
nice
down.
to have. It's good for confidence.
Right. So here we go. CD. Will it be CD or Vera? We're going to be looking at Vera right now. He doesn't get the best start right here, though. Pretty much the entire pack is ahead of him. Someone just made a mistake. I'm not sure who that was.
Me neither.
Let's take a look at CD. Make sure it's not him. No, CD is ahead. Just barely ahead of Vera. Although he does get a bit of a weird line there. He goes for an SD down the hill, but he doesn't get the full extent of it, and it messes up his line here. Is Vera overtaking? It seems like they're neck and neck pretty much, just a bit ahead here. And the rest of the pack is, 0.1 ahead, 0.2. Link in the lead here, looking to get a very nice time, but it looks like Vera will hold the lead over CD.
That was a huge back and forth, but yes, Vera holds on just about, thanks to CD's slight opposite. CD had such a good start. He was off to actually pull it off, and then he had a bit of airtime jumping onto the plastic and lost all his speed.
Right.
And messing up his line as a result.
What a close round there.
Actually, we should also mention Wille still almost snagged Vera as well. He actually overtook CD on that last round.
Well, there it is. The semifinals completed.
Yeah. Yeah, so our 8 finalists are... Wait, we can't see it anymore. Great. it's Mutta, Chroma, Kirill, Link, Max, Acid, Vera, and Ox.
Sounds like an amazing top 8. I mean, the players in the top 16 were already incredibly strong, so when we're whittling this down to half the field, I mean, you've got some of the best here, and this is getting even more exciting. So, it's final.
I mean, we already had very, very close rounds here. I'm actually a bit... I'm a bit confused to see Mutta struggling so much this time around. Like, he almost had a flawless qualifier and a really good round 1, and now he seems to take a few too many risks. Meanwhile, Kirill is coming alive, popping in best match times on, like, best personal match times on 2 of the maps, and winning 3 rounds back to back to back on the first one. So maybe we have a really good contest coming up in the finals.
It's looking like it. I'm sure all the players are feeling the pressure, but it's at this point you gotta alleviate your mind, get everything set in your head, and just get ready to drive like you've done so many times before. And this is really exciting. This pack of players is fantastic, and the finals is coming up. We have a 5-minute delay, was it?
We have a 20-minute delay, actually. So we can talk about the finals format a little bit, because it's slightly different, and then take another 10-15 minute break. Maybe I can actually fix the timer now. Well, it didn't really seem to work last time, so I'll probably just leave it a 10-minute timer and have it at 0. Might be a bit confusing, but still.
I just want to say GG's to all the players who didn't make the cut. You did really well, guys. It was very fun to watch. You put in a great performance, so yeah, thank you for playing.
Indeed. I mean, we have a really stacked pack here with some of the best players present, and we got kicked off the server because it has to be restarted to change into cup mode. But yeah, what I was going to say, like, we have some of the best players present, and even making it to top 16 here is a bit of an achievement already. So GG's to everyone.
GG's.
And yeah, format for the final will be slightly different. We will have 8 players playing in cup mode, which means we will have a different points distribution. I'm not sure. I wasn't made aware what the exact points distribution is, but basically we will have a larger gap in points. And we will have finalist mode, which means we will play the 3 maps on repeat until a player reaches the given point limit. And if he reaches this point limit, he moves on to finalist mode and needs to win another round to actually close out the match. And what's also worth mentioning is we will only play out top 4. And as soon as top 4 are decided, the remaining slots will be defined by the current standings.
Yeah. You don't normally see cup mode too often in full speed, so this is going to be very interesting. I'm excited to see this happen.
Yeah, at least in the new game, we've barely seen cup mode. Like in the older, I mean, cup mode is like a typical format you use for 1-on-1 tournaments, and we just haven't had many of those yet. Which I hope is going to change, because cup mode is like, or not necessarily cup mode, but 1-on-1 formats are by far the most competitive by nature in Romania. Because while team tournaments are all fun and games and really exciting, and there can be rivalries, cup mode is and will always be the most competitive. Like 1-on-1 tournaments will always be the most competitive, because technically there isn't any team interaction, as we mentioned earlier already.
Right. It's all on you. You just got to make it work and do your best, and maybe you are the best. Who knows? So
exactly,
we'll be seeing who comes out on top. I mean, there's so many good contenders in this field here. Kirill has been looking fantastic, and even though Mutta may or may not be the favorite due to his performance, you just don't know with these players. Chroma's looking fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, he was the favorite. It's going to
be really close.
He was the favorite for me up until this round, but now he didn't do too well, so who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean my guess is he's going to pick up the slack and win it anyways. But I hope it's going to be really, really close.
I mean, no one is perfect, so we could still see mistakes, of course. Even though these players are some of the best in the world, they are still human. So we'll have to see how today goes, because today and this next match is all that matters from now on. So very exciting stuff. No pressure, guys. No pressure.
Aethel as CD just pointed out, Roma, Kirill, Ox, Link, Max, Mala, Acid, and Vera are the 8 players who will contest in the grand final, with Vera just about making it, almost messing it up with a DNF.
But he made the cut. That's that's what matters.
He made it
and
exciting,
now he gets to compete. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to play rounds mode in a tournament like this, so hopefully Vera is having a lot of fun, because I know I'm having fun watching. So yeah,
I am.
Good luck to all those players.
Shall we take a quick break?
Yeah.
I think we can get it. Yeah, let's take a 10-minute break, then we will be back 5 minutes before the actual match starts. See you guys in a bit.